So good morning, everybody. Today is, what is it today? Wednesday. We have less than a week in Arles and things are fine. We're running out past the Lions, the remnants of the bridge that crossed the Rhone, and let me just check that all the apps are working. That's going. The voices are going. Up to 15 minutes of run time. And I'll just slip this thing away and try and catch up with Madame G. Okay, we're going to run mostly on the gravel dike today. Yesterday we watched a Netflix movie about Van Gogh, Vincent Van Gogh. What was the name of that movie we watched last night?
Eternity's Gate?
Eternity's Gate, yes. At Eternity's Gate. With William Dafoe, that's right. And to our right, coming down the Rhone, or is it up the Rhone? Coming up the Rhone is one of those floating hotel kind of canal boats with all their lawn chairs on the roof and their hotel style windows down the side. That'd be quite a nice way of cruising up and down the canal, up and down the Rhone River. I'm not sure exactly what's going to happen with the music today. I'll have a little look in a minute to see what's going on. I know I have all the bells and whistles working at once today. We're planning to run out to a place that we determined, which we can already see up ahead. This might be a short show.
I think we'll go to the drawbridge.
To the drawbridge? I thought we went to the gate with the spike, which is this one. Yeah, true. But I think what I did was I calculated what an hour of running would be. But I didn't factor in the fact that we're stopping at Intermaché to buy some salmon. Anyway, we shall run, turn, and come back and end at Intermaché. That's probably the way to do it. If we run to the drawbridge... Yeah. He's cut his fodder for his whatever animals. He probably stored them in those plastic bales to let them ripen. Yeah, if we go to the drawbridge and then back, we can end up at Intermarché and then I'll stop the recording, whatever that happens to be. Because the day that my app crapped out on me was just before the drawbridge, and that would have been 3 or so kilometers in. So Norma's absolutely right. This turning would be about 2 kilometers. And then another 1 to Intermarché. And that would be too close. I factored in running home as well, but we're going to be walking home with groceries. So we'll do a bit more of the run to end at the supermarket. I have an empty backpack with me. Yep. So we're going to do an out and back and then turn right here. This is the gate with the spike in the ground.
Bolt.
Is it a bolt?
Yeah.
Do you want to stash your jacket? Might as well. See if the cat's still on the roof.
Is it?
No. It's not warm enough.
Beware of the dog cat.
The beware of the dog cat, yeah. Auto pause, but that's not really going to affect me. Well, I didn't start my timer, but that's okay. I'm going to stop recording when we get to Intermaché, whatever that happens to be. It won't be a long show. Might be a 30. Are we? Yeah, running time, but I've only been recording for about 6 minutes.
Workout resumed.
Oh, a humidity alert? Let me just see what's going on with this thing. You can go ahead if you like. Okay, so the wheels are still turning, yep. And the little dials are still flickering. Time for hydration. So 20 minutes into the run. And what is it? I can't see. This looks like 7 minutes into the recording. Let me start another tune. It's not on auto DJ, so when this tune ends, I'll have to choose another one later on. Well, I was going to talk about a very interesting podcast that I was listening to, I think it was yesterday or the day before, about how the smartphone has affected the kids, Generation Z, which are the prepubescent teens who have grown up with the smartphone. Well, the guy was extrapolating that at that age, their brains have not fully formed and they don't have the GABA suppressing factors of maturity, so they tend to behave with addictive patterns, which, if they're built into their brains at that age, will give them that addictive, obsessive personality, which will lead, he was claiming, inevitably to anxiety and depression. I can see that, but most of the people listening to my show as I speak would not be in that category, as most of us are in our middle ages, having matured before the advent of the smartphone. I don't know if you know this, but Norma was trained in neuroscience, so she knows a heck of a lot about neurotransmitters and what have you. So she knows all about oxytocin and serotonin and melatonin, all those tonins that affect our moods. And apparently this guy was saying that the fact that young women have adopted the iPad more than the boys is because they tend to get more off the screen than the boys do. The boys are interested in more of the shoot 'em up gaming. The girls are more interested in social media, that kind of thing. He was implying that the game designers and the app designers had a grounding in addictive technologies. They make the games addictive by giving pulses of rewards. And in the social media setting, hello,
9 seconds ahead.
3 is here. So let's go a little bit further then, and then come back. Are you okay? So you're going a little fast. We could head back from here.
How much do you run? This is
Auto
like
pause.
25 minutes.
From when you started.
Yeah, but when did you start? 10 minutes after?
More.
More than 10 minutes?
Yeah, I'll tell you how much I've got. And then we can calculate how much more. Taking us back to Interpol. I mean Intermaché.
Yeah. I was Interpol better.
Okay. I have to adjust to the light. I have 11 minutes, call it 12 minutes now. Okay, so 12
if we
minutes.
did 15, you'd get almost 30 to Interpol.
Yeah, okay. Well, that's probably enough for today. I can go all out on Sunday and do a long show then.
Yeah, that's when I want to take the friend off.
Hello, hello. Do they say hello here?
Yeah. If
sure they know.
You say hello, they say hello.
Yeah.
If I say bonjour, they
Yeah. If I say hola, they say nothing.
yeah.
It's Espanol. Okay, let's go.
Yes, then.
Shall we go up to the swimming pool and then turn back? Or
Yeah, probably.
okay, it's only around the next bend. Yep, me and my mental arithmetic. I calculated the entire run to be an hour, but I forgot that the last 2 kilometers we're going to be walking home with groceries. So we should actually end our run there at Interpol, as I call it. I do have an empty backpack, as I said, mostly with spare clothing, as it's quite warm today. I'm going to strip off in a little while. Let me make the turn. But this is quite glorious
Time
along
24 minutes,
here.
52 seconds. Distance 3 kilometers. Workout average pace 8 minutes 17 seconds per kilometer.
I can hear her yakking, so when I do, I will try and remember not to talk over her. Getting back to this addictive brain. There are a lot of schools in Australia. This particular podcast is called Conversations. I posted a link to the episode I'm describing now on the Your 5 Minutes website. And some of the public schools have mandated that the kids go to school with iPads or the like, so they can follow the course notes and download chunks of text instead of having to lug around textbooks all the time. Which means that in recess they are armed with this highly addictive toy, so they can play Fortnite or whatever the boys might be playing. The thing about the girls and the social media is that Facebook and Instagram both have the option of having thumbs up, likes, and comments. And these comments are posted pretty much willy-nilly by the viewers, but they have written in to the code a technique to give you bursts of reward, so you get 4 or 5 likes grouped together to give you the maximum bang.
That's why you're not supposed to use certain symbols in your password.
What?
The fact that it can block the code.
Yeah, no, I was talking about the iPad, how the iPhone generation have had their brains reshaped
Yeah.
by these addictive technologies.
No, I was thinking of that story this morning about
99% invisible,
yeah,
how it got blocked on certain,
character combinations.
yeah,
And they
the percentage and the
Very-
capital I.
quite of a few websites won't allow you to use certain symbols in case
No,
you do that.
I've noticed that when Joseph posts his runs, he often uses air quotes, not air quotes, but actual quotes
Yeah.
in his title, and it comes up as percentage,
Yeah. Exactly.
hashtag,
Exactly.
then the word, and then percentage hashtag again, because he's put just air quotes, but by the time, whatever it is, Microsoft has processed his title, it's come back as gibberish.
Yeah. No, because that's the normal coding for the letters on the typewriter.
Uh-huh.
And the ones that are in the command lines, they don't use little a, little b.
So what was that hormone, sorry, the hormone that the women,
Oxytocin.
oxytocin.
No, the women, the men too.
The men get it too?
That's when I hug you, you get a shot
Of oxytocin. Ooh.
which then runs your dopamine system, which says reward.
Reward, yeah. And I was saying how that they're grouping the likes and the comments in bursts
Yeah,
to give
get
you a
higher
maximum
hits.
hit of oxytocin. Not oxycodone, that's something
No,
else.
that's horrible.
But they were talking how this addictive trend in the young brain could lead to adult issues. All right, shall we turn here?
Sure.
All right.
3.63.
All right, so another 0.63 this way. And then we'll be turning.
Well, at least 0.63.
No, we're turning at the gate with the
Yeah,
with the
that's at least a K.
bolt. Okay. Anyway, he said that it's an interesting statistic that alcoholism in
38 seconds ahead.
young people
Halfway to your goal.
has dropped dramatically by 50%. Drug abuse, substance abuse, because they're getting their fix from Australia.
Yeah, because they had a trouble with boozing adolescents, binging.
Binge drinking young kids, yeah. Well, they said that if you binge drink before your brain is fully formed, that you'll probably have problems with alcoholism throughout your life.
Not to mention fetal alcohol.
Yeah, true. All those young mothers in the making who are getting into that addictive. One more thing?
Alcohol antagonizes GABA. Blocks GABA. That's
He mentioned that.
That's why you have inhibition from alcohol. I mean, loss of inhibition from alcohol. Start talking, start laughing, whatever, because it removes the
brakes.
GABA controls. Yeah.
You're taking off the brakes.
Yeah.
The mature brain's braking system.
Yeah. But in the mature brain, you always have an inhibitory and an excitatory. Then you can do real modulation. If you only have one system, that's not good for small changes. Like you're always running the hot and cold tap at the same time, but the ratio determines the behavior.
Okay. Well, he also said that his kids, he's got teenage kids, daughters, 2 daughters. I think it's 2 anyway. He mentioned one of his daughters, and he's prevented her from using her iPad on the weekends in the mornings because they like to lie in. So they don't want her to be vegging out on the iPad. No. She just had a hissy fit for the first couple of weekends.
Yeah.
And then after that, she started baking cookies and doing stuff that didn't involve, because he wasn't letting her use her iPad in the mornings. And he also banned the use of electronic devices on holidays, because fair enough, his kids need their iPads for school, but they don't need them on holidays. So he said that they got more into doing stuff with their friends in reality rather than virtually on Facebook. But I think we're all too old for that problem to be major. For us, it's just a major waste of time. For them, it's a metabolic problem that they're going to have, something that they're going to have to live with. Even if they do kick the habit as adults, they're going to have this potentially addictive behavior hardwired by then into their brains. Well, that was a very interesting show, and I recommend that you go back, check the show notes on that one. It's a very good program, actually. I have it on my regular playlist. So I'm not going to meditate for a little while and pick a new tune for us to listen to. Well, for you to listen to while I sort out my meditation. Bonjour. I don't think we've played this one yet. Let's play this one now. Are we still rolling? Yep. I'm up to 22 minutes, I think. Or is it 24? Looks like 20. Looks like 22. All right. Workout resumed.
Workout resumed.
As I head back into the sunlight, trying desperately to catch up with my neuroscientist wife. She did so well in neuroscience that she retired from her tenured professorship at McGill at the age of 50 and has been living as a retired artisan for the past 20 odd years. She is now 71, 72, something like that, about the same age as Suzanne. I'm just the baby of the group at 56. We never did find out what these kilometer markings on the trails around here, but they're all in the 200 range. So they must be quite a long way from their origins. At least, let's say, 150 miles from somewhere. That's what makes me think it might be Nice or possibly the Italian border. Bonjour. Saw that guy before.
1 minute 11 seconds ahead.
This is the tractor that's mowing the lucerne into piles, rows to be baled and stored. We now have a couple of blonde children running towards us. I think we probably saw bonjour. We probably saw their daddy a little earlier on. He was the bonjour about 30 seconds ago. Okay, so we're getting close to our turn. I was supposed to be meditating. Let me do that. Do you remember this section from last time? She didn't take the bait. She started to. Your heart was getting too high? Oh, that wasn't a good time to start sprinting. I probably hit 160. I won't know my heart rate until I get back home.
Until you wear a watch.
Oh, I could wear your watch, yeah. But that would be too problematic because firstly I wouldn't be able to see the digits until my eyes got used to, I can hardly see that with my sunglasses on, and if I take them off,
and you can't see anything else.
Suddenly my pupils not dilate. What's the other one?
Constrict.
Constrict.
And that can be painful.
Yeah, that was one of those big errors from the past when they claim that when you're stoned, your eyes dilate. It's more the other way, isn't it? They get smaller.
No, depends what it is. Cocaine, they get smaller. Dope, they get larger.
Okay.
So you have a little of each.
Your eyes stay the same.
Who knows? Yeah, he's good to put that dog away.
Yeah, a happy dog is a happy dog is a well-behaved dog. That one is behind bars. Yeah. So we're now turning onto our little laneway that'll take us all the way to the supermarket, to Interpol. That's right, we did this as a walk the other day. Very pleasant. Single lane road. We might actually have to step off the roadway to let a car through. There's not really enough room for a car to pass safely without the pedestrians.
Time for hydration.
Yeah. Without, is that the wisteria we can smell? Let me take a picture of it for the album cover, so to speak. Do you want to stay there for a second while I snap this picture? And go. Gotcha.
I didn't hear it go.
Auto pause.
I turned the off in the museum. You remember you said, try muting it. Yep, it turned off the sound of the shutter.
The artificial sound.
The artificial shutter sound. The digitally created shutter sound. 5K?
Yeah.
All right. Here's a car. We're going to have to step into this doorway. A Citroën. It's not a Citroën. A Citroën is a lemon. And a limon is a lime. So citronella would be lemon-scented
40 minutes, 58 seconds.
insecticide.
Distance 5 kilometers. Workout average pace 8 minutes, 11 seconds per kilometer.
Vous avez raison. Vous avez raison? Raisin. You're full of raisins. I think I'll call this episode the Interpol Run. That'll keep them.
Okay,
Yeah. Digging to the Interpol. We have run all these runs almost the same number of times. This is the first time we've run this one, having walked it the other day. And we only have about 4 or 5 more running days before we head back to the Pacific Northwest. We will miss the mustard flowers.
1 minute, 52 seconds ahead.
We won't miss the Mistral. The Mistral made Van Gogh go crazy. Van Gogh go. Well, the last few days the wind has been from various directions. Yeah, it's to do with the wind speed. And if it's coming from the northeast, or the northeast or whatever, it's very evil. We're going through a road tunnel now that is 2.5 meters tall, maximum. Oops, hang on. Right into the path of a truck. All right. Hello, hello. Ho, 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 ho. Little acoustic anomaly there. We're getting very close to the Interpol supermarket. Very nice supermarket. Today we're going to buy some salmon for tonight. Because today we're going to Saint-Remy, which was where Vincent went to be cured of his craziness. I blame it on the absinthe and the malnutrition. Bonjour. Bonjour. He was a starving artist. He arrived in Arles in the winter, and he pretty much froze to death the first few months. The Mistral must have been brutal that year. Hang on. Attention. As I see the gates of the Interpol car park, I will bid you adieu from sunny, mild Arles. Whatever the length of this show is, it is now pretty much finished. Yep. Once I switch off the recording app, let's have a look. Well, 34 minutes is pretty good, guesstimation. I could do a little bit of an outtake overrun as we walk into the supermarket. I saw that gate open. I thought there was a gate to stop the cars, but it's a gate for the car park.
1 minute, 44 seconds
All
ahead.
right. So, as I say, from Arles in France, this is Carlos and Norma signing out. As we turn to look at the fish. Bye-bye. I could take a picture of the fish, that's right.
pause.
You doing a movie?
No.
Who's this one? She live in Good Life?
Well, let me just stop the recording.
Oh, sorry. I thought you finished.
No, I didn't. I have 35 minutes.